nerding.
Hey! What is going on with my shirt right now? Hey, ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is Taco Tuesday. You know what that means. You are now watching and experiencing distance nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Young Phil. She's Jen the Frey, the talent. And we're here to nerd together. We're talking anything pop culture, news, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, really helps us out. Listen on your favorite podcast app, leave us a review, and remember, 5 stars helps us out so much, guys. It makes the algorithm think that we are the most amazing thing that you've listened to all day. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on all of the internet. You are now watching The Download. Let's start some rumors and get banned in Belarus again. Going down. Banned in Belarus. Banned in Belarus.
Banned in Belarus.
Banned in Belarus. Yeah, banned in Belarus. Ban. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into this. Forget Phase 6. We're entering the Silver Age Savage 6. The retro futuristic Fantastic Four First Steps doesn't just introduce Marvel's first family, it name drops 6 classic villains from the 1960s comics: Puppet Master, Mad Thinker, Diablo, Red Ghost, Wizard, and we actually see Mole Man. So Mole Man, they're not full-fledged foes yet, but the film uses them to build a rogues gallery foundation for future MCU chaos. Galactus looms large, but this is Marvel laying track for a villain multiverse with vintage flair. Tacos on the table. Will Fantastic Four First Steps actually drop all 6 vintage villains, or is this just fan-fueled flavor with no real bite?
Wow, I'm applauding you for as many alliterations as I put in that. You did a stellar job.
I appreciate that.
Stellar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You deserve it. Give yourself a pat on the back. So my tacos are on the table for the 6 vintage villains. I think we're gonna get some really cool Fantastic Four stuff in whatever universe they wind up in.
Yeah, I agree. Like we're definitely getting a whole bunch of villains, and you know they're kind of building on those rogues already, right? And I love that we already got to see Mole Man. For those of you who haven't seen the trailer, he's in the trailer, and like all these different things. He doesn't play a massive role, but he's in it. And I mean, no, Paul Walter Hauser. There's like an epicness to the way he plays the character in just like those like 2 scenes that he's in.
I don't know what y'all's affection for this man is. He was he was good in his role. I was like, oh, is that him? I almost wanted to say in the theater, like, James loves you, but he wouldn't have heard it because he wasn't there. But yeah,
He almost felt very Underminer, like you know the joke with the Underminer. He felt very Underminer, and that's what I liked about it.
I really liked the pettiness he had in the scene with Reed.
He was very.
I loved the pettiness. I was like, okay, all right, I can hang with this petty man. So it was cute.
It was very good. It was very good.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on here.
From Iron Man to Doom Daddy.
Oh yeah.
RDJ's Doctor Doom isn't just a one-and-done villain. Rumors suggest Marvel wants him to stick around post-Secret Wars, possibly becoming a long-term antagonist for the Fantastic Four and beyond. That's a major pivot from Kang, and fans seem ready to embrace Downey's darker side. Tacos on the table. Is Marvel seriously positioning Robert Downey Jr. as a post Secret Wars Doom, or are we all just high on variant fumes?
um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about having him be Doom the entire way. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but it's like, um, I don't know how I feel about him continuing on as Doom. Unless it's like that variant of Doom.
Yeah.
I kinda would want a newer actor to play Doctor Doom moving forward. Not to say that he's not gonna kill the role, like, he might absolutely knock this out of the park and be a very good Doom, but I like the idea of him being, the invincible Doom, the ultimate version of Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
superior Doctor Doom, that's what it is. I would rather him be superior Doctor Doom than be, um, the Doctor Doom going forward, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I yeah, I gotta say my tacos. I feel like we're just high on variant fumes. I don't think that this is gonna happen. I think so. Husby and I have come up with this little saying called reaching for 16. Like when you've got your 15 minutes of fame and you just want that little bit more, we
Right.
call it reaches for 16. And I feel like maybe Robert Downey Jr. is reaching for 16 as it regards to the Marvel universe, like the MCU. I think
Yeah.
maybe he should go. I think them passing the mantles on to others is a good way to keep the movies fresh and bring new people in so that it's not the same movie 15 times.
Right, and I mean,
So,
I would love to see him back as Tony, like, as much as they're saying that they're going to do, like, another version of Tony Stark, like, I don't mind Robert Downey Jr. sticking around and, if they do a comic book, multiverse, this is how we bring Tony Stark back. My only other side of that is, yeah, if you bring Tony Stark back, then that almost makes his sacrifice at the end of Endgame, moot.
hollow.
Right.
Hollow. It makes it hollow. Yeah, and I feel like that would just it's just gonna kill it all. To me, it is. I do think that they've had some pretty positive steps recently.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Maybe they have some brilliant way to make him Doom and he, steals. And anyway, I've got other thoughts too. So we're tabling this till then.
Okay, so we'll come back over here, back onto this here in a moment. So Dutch is cooking up legacy meat. Director Dan Trachtenberg teased a possible return of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch after a breakfast meeting with a cameo in the animated Killer of Killers epilogue. While nothing confirmed for live action, the franchise is clearly warming up the cryopod for Dutch's comeback. Tacos on the table. Will Arnold's Dutch return in live action? Or was that breakfast meeting just a nostalgic appetizer?
I mean, he doesn't need to come back. I don't think it's a need. I think
No.
it would be more of a I think it's more of a nostalgia thing, but I think I wouldn't hate it. I think yeah, sure. Tacos on the table for it. I really
I
have not I don't have strong feelings about this one, so I'm trying to have as much
yeah.
interest as I can.
My tacos are on the table in the sense that if he comes back, it's gonna be more of a cameo and it's gonna be like, it'll be like one of the prequel movies, but it's gonna be later in Dutch's life.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we're like going into like Alien, but it's Dutch is, a little bit older because then you can use Arnie now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
And he's
true.
yeah, he's just like a retired special forces guy. or you use Arnold Schwarzenegger as a voice in another season of Killer of Killers or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
I see them doing more with Dutch, but not as a main character, you know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, absolutely. I feel like if we get him, bonus. That's kind of the way it is. It's like I don't think the movies need him, but it would be a great bonus for us to have him.
right,
Cameo, voice, whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's move on to this
So,
last rumor here.
Anakin's mentoring, myth building, and maybe moonlighting as a Mortis god. That's my favorite Rebels storyline thing is the Mortis god stuff.
Right.
Love it. It's like my favorite. I love all of the Mortis god stuff. I want it to be true. I'm just saying that right now. Hayden Christensen has dropped out of multiple cons, like con appearances,
Mhm.
due to filming Ahsoka season 2, hinting at a much larger role than his brief season 1 appearance. Fans speculate he'll appear across multiple episodes, possibly guiding Ahsoka and Sabine as a Force ghost or through Mortis lore. So, tacos on the table. Is Christian's filming schedule proof he's a regular in Ahsoka season 2, or will it end up being flashbacks and force filler?
Interesting. The thought that I have on this, um, I do see it being more him as a Force ghost, and I think that they're writing it specifically because the everybody loves his new take on Anakin based on every version since his initial version, right?
Right.
And I think it would be fun to have him kind of go into Mortis lore because he's supposed to be the son, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he was going to be the father.
The father.
He was
Okay, so
the father. He was going to take over because he could balance them.
right. So I mean, like you go through like this whole thing, like you have him still teaching Ahsoka even after death, and then training Sabine while Ahsoka's training Sabine, and like that just kind of gives more depth and more life into his significance, and especially the significance he has with Ahsoka. It's almost a parallel with the relationship that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn have.
Absolutely. I think I totally agree with you
Mhm.
because of how season 1 ended.
Right.
He was a Force ghost at the end of season 1. I think there will be flashbacks. I think we'll have Force ghosts, and it may be one of those things where his Force ghost does interact with the Mortis gods, or they wind up in that world between worlds kind of thing, and where he's actually not a Force ghost in that world, he's corporeal. But yeah, they can go pretty much anywhere they want with him, and everybody really is loving him being back. So I see this as a positive, and I'm 100% on board. Take all my tacos, shut up, and just take my tacos.
The other thing I see happening with this can be, kind of leading more into that redemption arc for Anakin, right? Like this is him
Yeah,
redeeming himself in the afterlife, and that's what
yeah,
leads to him becoming a Mortis god.
yeah. It could be, or something else. I mean, the the Force didn't, squirt him out to not for him to just kind of do that thing and then not do anything else. So I mean, I feel like there's got to be something else. There's a more cosmic thing going on with this. I'm just okay. I'm stopping talking now.
No worries. Well, that is it for rumors. We sailed through that pretty quickly here. So we are going to move into the next section of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the download. I don't know what just happened right there. It almost seemed like the video didn't play on my end, but it's fine. We'll continue on here.
It played
Um,
on mine. I saw it.
oh man, it didn't play for mine at all. It was
Chat,
weird.
chime in, let us
Well,
know.
this is casting cash, big swings, weird vibes, and somebody just signed up to look directly at Barbie's feet. Jen, take it away.
Margot's climbing the Hollywood skyline one genre at a time. Robbie will star in and produce Tim Burton's Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, playing Nancy Archer, an heiress who hits skyscraper height after alien contact. The project's still circling a new screenwriter post Gillian Flynn. So yeah,
That's
could
interesting.
this could it be a like they're gonna do like those old like 50s kind of villain, like those matinee villain things, and then maybe they'll make them their own IP. It seems like Tim Burton would be the guy to do something like that.
Yeah. With Tim Burton's kind of sensibilities, I can see them doing this. The thing is I almost want them to do this in the same way that they did it in the 50s. I kinda don't want it to be like, CGI small or, all that. Like, I would love for them to do the force perspective that they did in the 50s.
Well, Burton loves stuff like that, though.
Yeah, because
Like
I
when
think
he
that
did
would be
Ed
cool.
Wood, a lot of that stuff was practical.
Yeah, like, I would love to see them do this with practical effects and everything like that. Just, you know, eh, Tim the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman works extremely well for Tim Burton.
Yeah, and also Margot Robbie, and then you've got she learned a lot by doing Barbie because they did a lot of the Barbie sets were all real. So that, I think it's a good pairing. I think it's a
Yeah.
good pairing. Let's move on though, because we got tons of stuff to go through.
Alright.
Next, we have leather jackets, laser beams, and feelings. This invasion's got issues. Pine and Depp play extraterrestrials disguised as a 1950s biker gang in this indie sci-fi from the Zellner brothers. Emotional glitches ensue. They join Kate Blanchett, Dave Batista, and Leah Seydoux.
Mhm.
Seydoux? I think
So
it's
do.
Seydoux. In what's shaping up to be cosmic comedy with feelings.
I'm actually I didn't know about this, but just looking at the cast, like Kate Blanchett, Dave Batista, Chris
Hmm.
Pine, Lily Rose Depp, and Lily Rose Depp is killing it right now. Like just kind of everything she's been in
Hmm.
has been great. Um, and then you take that and you're doing 1950s biker gang in an indie sci-fi movie. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to see this.
About aliens. Like
Right.
that's the thing. So it's just amazing. Anyway,
The
so
concept just
I
seems
just think
fun.
it's awesome.
Yeah, the concept of
Yeah,
it seems fun. Like Tater said, flared bass. There we go.
there you go. But and they all kind of have both these have 50s vibes. How
They
cool,
do. I noticed
Daddy-O.
that too. I noticed that there's, like, just crazy 50s vibes on this.
It wasn't intentional. It was totally accidental. All right. So casting that proves Hollywood still got room for aliens and skyscraper-sized women that need merch,
That's
people.
right, we got merch, people! Still
It's
too
too
early.
soon.
Still too
I
soon.
get you every time.
You do, you really do. It just makes me hit the button, and it happens. Well, let's
It's
jump into the
Pavlovian at this point.
I know. Just, "We got merch, people!" Hold on. There we go. Alright, well, let's jump into, the rest of the news here. Go ahead and take it away, Jen.
Oh, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. No. Guns shaping the emotional blueprint of the DC universe, one Easter egg and playlist pick at a time. He's so good about that. All
He
right.
really is.
From teasing Superman's next chapter to hinting at Ultraman's return, Gunn is signaling a future built on deep cuts and bold tones. He's resurrecting background mural characters, giving Peacemaker Season 2 a new sonic identity, and calling out rock royalty as the source of its opening track. Behind the scenes, 9 DC projects are actively churning, proof the DCU isn't just a concept, it's a living, evolving creative ecosystem. But it's not all hype. Gunn's candid admission that the authority might be in trouble shows his commitment to transparency, which I mean, he's talking about it all the time. That's why he's on our show all the time. He should just come on our show. Um,
I sent an invite
so
out. I actually did
okay,
send him
good.
an invite.
Cool. Let's get him. All
I
right.
know,
He's
right?
building trust by showing the gears, not just the glow. The DC under Gun is fast, fluid, and fearlessly weird, with room for misfits, icons, and fans who love their storytelling with a side of chaos and candor. It's
It's exciting.
candor.
I mean, I'm
It's not
excited.
candor, but I'd said it like candor because that's the bottled city. And so it was like a little like,
I see what you
thing.
did there. I see what you did there.
And then Tater asked for this.
Again, I'm excited for this just because from what we've gotten so far, Superman was great. I love Creature Commandos. The next thing we have coming up is Peacemaker, and they're going to address kind of like the crossover with the Snyderverse and everything like that, and almost like a multiversal thing. So I'm kind of excited for all of this because I love kind of his sensibilities and just the amount of how much he knows the comics.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
like everything has just been comics on screen, and it's like it's exactly what I want out of DC movies.
Did you actually see when he posted the mural on Instagram?
The Peacemaker one.
No, the mural of from the Hall of Justice.
I did, and that was the thing is I remember I was calling out certain characters that I saw in that mural.
Yeah, well, I actually think that that mural might tell us what movies are coming, like what things they're focusing on.
It could be.
So, I mean, because Max Mercury is in it a couple of times as a couple of different people. And you've got like Lady Bullet and the Bullet, and then you've got like I don't know, you got there are a lot of people in it. There's like an exiled Amazon in it that has that hammer. I can't remember her name. Don't ask me. So that could
You're my
be a
Amazon expert.
nod.
You're the one I'm gonna ask.
I just can't remember what she was called, but they did a thing where she was actually an exiled Amazon. So
Right.
that could lead into the character, but that could lead into the Amazon series that they're doing. Like all of these could be leading to other projects, is what I'm
Right.
saying. So people are just like, these are who's there, and I'm like, yeah, but what groups are they in?
The other
What does
thing
that
about
mean?
James, yeah, the other thing about James Gunn is nothing is ever an accident when it comes to what he shows on screen. So if he
Right.
shows something on screen, it's exactly what you're saying right now is that, it is going to be 100% something that shows up later.
Whether it's just, hey, look, this is how long metahumans have been around.
Right.
And I mean, it could be that, but obviously those are stories that could be told. We've got a speedster in there, so that means we're going to get speedsters. We've got
Mm,
an Amazon, we're going to get Amazons. We've got the scientific accident kind of thing.
yeah.
And so that's a nod to Flash, or could be like a Green Lantern thing. I mean, there's so many different things. There's
Yeah.
the Silent Knights in there, Phantom Ladies in there. So does that mean we're gonna get All Star Squadron, or Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters? They could go all of these different routes.
But
There's
but
so many different things.
I mean, they just talked about Sergeant Rock is moving forward again, and it's like, okay, well, if
Yeah,
Sergeant Rock's happening, then Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters makes sense,
right. So then
because that
are
would
we
be
gonna
around the same
get
era,
a Phantom Lady appearance? Like that would be amazing.
right?
So,
That actually makes me think that like when you have these period pieces like Sergeant Rock and things like that, that's where we get those types of characters.
yeah. So I was just it really got me to thinking. It got my
Right.
head all itchy, and so I started thinking about these things. So anyway, we should move on. I think we've this quick bite has just become a bite and a half. So
Yeah.
let's move on.
Let's go ahead and move on here. Please rewrite Marvel's building the final finale with bricks, chaos, and a lot of caffeine. Sorry, phase rewrite. Please rewrite
Praise
me because
rewrite.
I said that wrong. Uh,
Please rewrite.
yeah, please rewrite. No, phase rewrite. 3 months into production and the script still getting tweaks with the creative team claiming there's plussing happening every day. That's Marvelese for constant revisions, mid filming brainstorming, and a whole lot of creative panic in motion. Translation, they're rewriting on the fly and hoping the multiverse gods sort it out. It's improv, but with capes.
Yeah. I agree. I think that okay. So this is just the business model of DC versus Marvel. This
Mhm.
right here, because the story before this, James Gunn was talking about how authority might be in trouble. And that's because the script's probably not where he wants it to be.
Right.
But you've got this huge event that they're doing, and they're still rewriting it. It's been 3 months. They should know what the vision is, and they shouldn't have to rewrite this much. So that's what I'm saying is I don't it's just business model differences, and I have to say I really like the DCU business model more than the MCU business model because I have less anxiety.
Right.
So, and also like, it cost overages, people have to come in when they weren't contracted to come in, that's more money. Like, so it just balloons everything, which means they have to make more money back. Does quality suffer? It could. I just feel like it's a lot.
Yeah, and again, I'm feeling like Feige is just seeing the quality that is coming out of DC, and it's like I've gotta start playing again. Like, I feel like he got complicit for a while, and it's just like it's time for me to stop playing around and get back in the game.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I just don't maybe I'm just high on DCU right now. I don't know.
It could be because I mean they did a really good job with Fantastic Four. Now, is it the most amazing movie ever? No, but it is better than some of the other FF movies that have been out there. So I mean, like,
It is a solid Fantastic Four first movie.
right.
It really is. There's like little tiny plot hole, and the CGI with Franklin, the scene at the end.
Mhm.
Um, that CGI was horrible. But other than that, it was a great movie. So I'm not like loved how Pedro and Vanessa, I loved their chemistry. I loved how they were together. When she was freaking out, he was calm. When he was freaking out, she was calm. That is a marriage.
Yeah.
That's a marriage right there.
But there's
And
also just
Johnny,
I was gonna say the
n-
family dynamic with all of them, right? Like, they are
yeah, yeah,
they are a family. There was
hmm
no it didn't feel disjointed at all. Like, all of them felt
no,
very together and on the same page. I loved how incredibly intelligent they had every character come across. There wasn't just,
hmm
Johnny's the playboy, but, like, Johnny also figures out probably one of the biggest, you know, plot points in the movie,
yeah,
and
no, absolutely.
mhm,
We
and
shouldn't give any of it away, but
that's why I said it the way I
Johnny's
said it.
Johnny's got a big brain in this, y'all.
Yeah, like, Johnny is smart. There's no doubt that, uh, that the Thing is an engineer. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
same thing. He's not just big and brawny. He figures things out, and he's extremely smart. And of course, Reed comes off as Reed. Like, if you know the comics,
Mhm.
he is very Reed Richards.
Yeah, and, like, when, the scene where Sue was talking about where his dark thoughts, and I
Yeah.
was like, No, that's totally Reed. And I didn't read a lot of Fantastic Four comics, so I
Mhm.
don't know like if they're straying too far or not. I know they've changed some things, but um and people are like, "Well, Sue's leading the team." And I was like, "No, they're a family.
Yeah. No.
Sue's the mom. She's the maternal figure, the heart of the team, and they all take care of her and listen to her.
Yeah.
And that's a mom. That's mom. And
Yeah.
Reed is the dad, and Johnny, gives him a lot of crap. And Ben's his best friend. Ben's,
Right.
Reed's best friend. So they all had those genuine relationships. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah. Real quick, I was just gonna say the thing about Reed Richards in this as well is he is extremely not only analytical, but very he looks at everything as if they're numbers and probability.
Mhm.
Which is also one of the worst traits that Reed has, and I love that they already set that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he does look at things as, well, the probability of something happening or the numbers behind this, and that kind of leads him in the comics to make really bad decisions,
Mhm.
which is where a lot of
Yeah.
people will be like, "Well, Reed is a villain in the comics sometimes." Like, no, he just makes bad decisions based on numbers. He's such a scientist that he puts science before his emotions.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and he
And yeah.
yeah, and they very much did that in this, that he is not super emotional. Like, he's very emotional. He's very in touch with his emotions, but he's a scientist first, and that's one of the best and worst traits that Reed Richards has.
Yeah, he needs to solve the problem. He's
Right.
a needs to solve the problem guy, which is also very similar to Tony. So I can see the parallels between that. Whereas like maybe Howard Stark and Reed Richards would have been friends in
Absolutely.
the main MCU
Right.
universe. But let's move
Yeah,
on
let's move on.
to Tony Stark, shall we? Or
Absolutely.
Doctor Doom or Dr. Stark, something like that. Feige's been playing villain chess since phase 3. Kevin Feige casually confirmed that Marvel considered Robert Downey Jr. for Doctor Doom long before Quantumania blipped in onto the radar. It's an alternative reality flex and a reminder that no casting fan theory is too wild to be true in KEVIN's multiverse playbook. Translation: never underestimate Marvel's ability to recycle royalty with a villainous flair.
So I mean, I talked about this in the rumor section is, yeah, they've been kind of like, it seems like he's been planning on RDJ to be Doctor Doom for a while, but in the end, I like it when you're like, if they go the route of him being superior Doctor Doom, but just
Yeah.
that variant of Doctor Doom. Like, again,
Mhm.
I'm still in the camp of, I would rather Killian Murphy play Doctor Doom. I think he would kill it as Doctor Doom.
And I kinda want John Krasinski to do it.
John Krasinski would be fun too, considering that,
Mhm.
in another multiverse that he was Reed Richards. So I mean, I like
Yeah.
the idea of that.
I mean, it would just be something fun to play with. Although
Mhm.
I really think that we're moving towards the Illuminati, with Fantastic Four. There's something in the movie that, like, pinged Illuminati for me, and I can't remember what it was, but I think we're moving that way. Maybe it was the Future Foundation, but I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, and that also would set up, World War Hulk, so,
yeah, there we go.
alright, well,
It
let's,
was just vibes, people. It was vibes. I don't have any information on the Illuminati coming soon.
right, yeah, we don't know. The Illuminati's been in Marvel, and that's the thing, is we know that they've already set up the Illuminati exists, so, now
Yeah.
we're gonna like, this would be a way to form the Illuminati in this universe, in the 616.
Yeah. So I just, it's one of those anywhere there's a Reed Richards, there's probably an Illuminati
Right,
somewhere.
right, exactly. Okay,
All right,
let's
let
move
me just
on
do
here.
this. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Da-na-na-na. Fresh roster, savage stakes, and X marks the danger. The incoming X-Men director says the reboot will be recognizably different with ambitions to tap into the massive scope embedded in the comics. After years of scale downs, this could finally be the comics level narrative mutants deserve. Translation, less leather, more lore. They're going full Omega level this time, and I'm here for it.
Exactly. It was cosmic level narrative. Comic level narrative works just as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Just as well.
right, right. My thing
You have
is,
no idea what I'm talking about.
I want the Omega level, like Marvel characters and X-Men characters. I mean, like there's so much you can do with the X-Men, and there's so much more that gets added into the overall world of Marvel when you add the X-Men into it. And I've been waiting for this. Because now you can do these whole things where you have X-Men villains that are attacking the Avengers, and you have something you can set up storylines for the X-Men within an Avengers movie and vice versa. Now
No,
you can
I agree. I'm
right,
all for this. I think this is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. So, yeah,
and
I
then
get it.
one of the things I've been waiting for forever is, for those of you who know the comics, Wolverine is a OG Avenger. I can't wait to see Wolverine as an Avenger.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see what they do with it, where they bring us in. Is it going to be halfway through Rogue and Gambit's flirtathon, or is it going to are they going to go from giant size X-Men 1 where they just introduced the international ones so I'd like to know, will we do where Kitty Pryde and Dazzler come in first, cuz that's a good jumping on point. There's a lot of good jumping on points for the mutants themselves. So it just really depends on what it's Shearer, right? Jake Shearer's doing it. That's Jake Shearer,
Yes.
right? Okay. Anyway, what he wants to do, like where he wants to go with it. So yeah, I am pretty excited about it. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm very excited for this again. As someone who grew up with the X-Men and loves the X-Men, this is very, very big deal for me. And I can't wait to see them interacting with the rest of the characters. Like, I can't wait to see the X-Men interacting with Captain America, or interacting with Iron Man, or Iron Heart, with all that. Like, oh my god, Storm and
Doctor
Black Panther.
Strange.
Doctor Strange, right? There's so many
Yeah.
stories with all of them together. Um, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm really excited too. It kind of feels like a part of the universe has been missing up until now. And so I feel like it's going to complete the universe. So I think that's
mhm,
going to be awesome. And
yeah,
I really hope they come back from space. That's what's happened. They just went to space and they bring Lalandra back, and it just starts this whole thing because we've been real cosmic lately. So bringing the cosmic back to Earth, I think that might be a good thing. It'll also be a reason to bring Star-Lord back into the cosmic thing stuff. But
oh
yeah.
man,
All right.
what if
I'm
they just
I'm done.
jumped into the Shi'ar just like right off the bat? That'd be fucking
Yeah.
nuts.
And it'd be like, yeah, you guys missed it. There were these weird bug creatures called the Brood. And I would be like,
Now, but that's the
so
thing, is I wouldn't want them to just reference the Brood. I would want to see the Brood on screen.
I don't know if you could do that in one movie though. And it would have to be a horror movie. It would definitely have to be
Oh yeah,
like an alien style horror movie. Although that would
absolutely.
be really cool. With Wolverine and a alien style horror movie. Holy crap. That would like sell 1 billion. Okay, I'm done.
All right, let's move into this next story here, because Miles needs more time to multiverse. I'm a big Miles Morales fan, so this is, I'm both saddened but also excited, and I'll say why here in a minute. Sony announced a delay for Beyond the Spider-Verse, now set to release in June 2027. It's a long wait for Miles Morales fans like myself, but also a chance to go even deeper into glitchy multiverse storytelling. Translation: it's not ready, but when it is, it'll probably melt your face with excellence. I was talking too fast and I couldn't say excellence correctly. All right. Well,
I
this,
liked it.
this is where I'm excited for this. Is the excitement is that at least now we're getting updates, right? Before we weren't getting
Mhm.
updates on what was going on. We didn't know what was happening with Spider-Verse. At least we know now. It's it's 2 years out, and that's where I'm upset about it. Is it's 2 years out, right? It's like I've got to wait
But
2 years
you
for
want it to
more on the
be a quality product.
and that's kind of where I'm willing to be patient, like, because I want to see the conclusion. I want to see what happens between Miles and the alternate version of himself, where he's the Prowler. I also want to see that relationship between him and his uncle, and kind of like, yeah, he got some family members back. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of different things that are going on. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm more excited that we're getting an update finally, but I am just a little upset that it's gonna take so long because I've been waiting so long already.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm not as invested in
Mhm.
the whole Spidey, Miles Spidey, Peter B. Parker thing. It's very cute. I do adore the movies, but I'm just not as invested as as I could be, I guess. But no, I'm okay with the wait as long as it's going to be good. In if we have to sacrifice time for the good of the animation and to make it as good as the other two,
Mhm.
I will wait and I will happily do so because there is a shit ton that we have to watch already. So,
And supposedly this is also supposed to all tie into, um, Spider-Man 4, and it's supposed to tie into, like, this is supposed to be how they introduce Miles Morales into the live action universe as well.
right. So they also want to make that and and there was something like I want to say a couple weeks ago that um Feige was saying that it's not time for Miles yet.
Yeah.
Something else needs to happen before Miles comes in. Something like that. And I was just like, "You know what, dude? Read the room. Everybody wants Miles. Read the room."
But I think what it is what where he's saying is, like, it might be because they're waiting on this last film to introduce Miles, because what he was also saying a while back is he would like to use these movies as the 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 backstory for Miles Morales, and you use
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah.
multiverse to bring Miles Morales into the universe. So I think
Nope,
I'm
he's
willing
not
to
getting
wait.
off the hook. Nope, not off the hook with me.
Well, see, because
No, no,
I
no,
I
no,
wouldn't
no.
I wouldn't want another origin story told for the character. I'm fine with
Mhm.
just bringing Miles Morales into the story. You explain how he kinda crosses into the multiverse, and now Miles Morales is in this universe, and his entire back if you wanna know his backstory, go back and go watch the Spider-Verse movies.
I'm all for that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, that Feige needs to concentrate on not having a script in uh that's being rewritten 3 months into a movie's production. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well,
Yes,
let's,
Tater's like flirting with creepy baby right now.
yeah, it's weird. Let's
Eh.
let's go ahead and move on here.
Cannot believe you're making me read this one. Because one jungle planet isn't enough for Cameron. Cue the graphic.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize I didn't have it on the screen. Boom.
James Cameron is developing an Avatar animated series that will explore new cultures and ecosystems across Pandora. Think spiritual whales, flying rocks, and lore so dense it'll make Navi linguists sweat. Translation: he found new glow in the dark creatures to emotionally devastate us with.
It's that's good. I like that.
Did I
I like
deliver it with gravitas? Was it the
You did.
gravitas it needed?
The amount of gravitas that James Cameron would deliver himself.
I almost went like, David Attenborough with it, you know.
James
Full,
Cameron
like,
has developed an Avatar animated series.
right.
That's my best David Attenborough. It's not good, but hey, it's there.
It's better than mine. So I'm not gonna watch this. I said it. I'm not watching it. I watched the first Avatar. It was okay. It wasn't like I was like, oh good, blue people and they're really tall and this
It's Dances with
human
Wolves.
guy's trying to get his rocks off with them.
Yeah,
Great.
it's
And
Dances with Wolves with giant cat people.
yeah, so I skipped the second one. And has there been a third one yet? This is the third one. The Fire and Ash thing's the third one.
Fire and Ash is the third one, yeah, so that's the next
Yeah.
one coming out.
We saw the trailer. I don't care.
I mean, it looks interesting. I never saw the second one, so I don't know where the story's at. I think part of it's because it's a 3-hour movie, and I just haven't gotten around to watching it. Not that I'm not interested in watching it, I did enjoy the first one,
Yeah.
but I just haven't watched the second one yet, and the third one, again, it looks interesting, but it's kind of like, I'm not gonna go watch the third one if I haven't watched the second one yet, so
Yeah. I just look, I'm not an Avatar fan. I'm not this Avatar fan. Give me Avatar, The Last Airbender. I'm right there. Whatever you want. But
it's actually news for that came out
it's
today.
gotta be due. I know I just saw it, Stephen Yoon. Anyway, we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll talk
Uh,
about it next week.
but I just I can't seem to care. I cannot seem to care.
James is in the chat
Make me
right now.
care, Phil. Make me care.
James is in the chat right now. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, James has got a family thing going on right now, so that's why he's not here. But he's saying he did like the second one more than the first one. The second one raises the stakes.
Okay. I don't know. It's just I don't like it.
Well,
It's not my thing.
let's move on to the next story here.
And I feel like that I can do that. I can have it not be my thing. So, this is me again. Okay. Better get those tapas to go. I love tapas. In Daryl Dixon's season 3, the apocalypse road trip takes a turn towards Spain, reuniting Carol and Daryl for more crossbow therapy, this time with flamenco backdrops and moody ruins. Translation: same trauma, new time zone, flamenco walkers, anyone?
Oh God, that would just be weird in the world of Walking Dead. You just have like walkers that are dancing flamenco.
Yeah, like do 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 do. And then they're like brains. Do 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 do. Ole!
And you just see Daryl look over at Carol and just crossbow them all in the head.
Right. Carol's eating a cookie. All right.
Uh, I mean, interesting. I stopped watching The Walking Dead after like, ah man, the season where they killed Stephen Ewan was like the last one that I watched.
Hot take, or actually, secret time. I've never watched The Walking Dead. I read the first 8 issues of the comic book series, and it
Mhm.
wasn't for me. So I felt like a TV show about it also wasn't for me. So yeah, I haven't watched it.
The first couple seasons were good when it was about a group of people trying to survive the apocalypse and dealing with zombies. And just kind of the relationships between the people and everything, when they find survivors. But then when it started becoming, oh, we're finding whole cities, and now there's like people trying to kill each other and all this other stuff. Like when it became Arma, was like, this is where I'm done with this. I'm not interested in this anymore because it went from like, okay, here's a small group of survivors that are trying to survive to now the entire world is repopulated and it's just a bunch of people trying to kill each other. And
Yeah, it becomes like dystopian Mad Maxy.
yeah, and it was just kinda like, I'm not interested in this anymore, and then they started doing, like, they did the one that takes place in LA, it was supposed to be the origin story, and they never did the origin story. And just then they did like 30 other series. This show with
Yeah.
Daryl Dixon, as interesting as the idea is, they took a character that they made for the show that wasn't in the comics and gave him his own show, and he is a fan favorite. Daryl Dixon's fun, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I lost interest in the show when they got into like season number 33.
Well, maybe Spain will get you back into it.
Probably not.
Oh, like a bullfighter? How about this? It's like a bullfighter zombie thing, and they have to like run the bulls or something. Isn't that like a Spain thing?
That's a Spaniard thing, yeah.
Yeah, so like they could do that. Running of the bulls, zombie style.
Right. You just have zombie bulls coming after you.
Right. Like that dead polar bear in Game of Thrones.
Ugh,
Oh, that was
like,
hilarious.
this is bullshit. And you're just running from bulls.
Yeah, just like, flunk, flunk, flunk. It's not working.
Oh man.
Carol's
Sounds
throwing cookies at them, and they're not, whatever.
yeah. Let's move on to this next story. It's actually something that I am excited for. Kratos goes softcore storytelling instead of hardcore. That's right. The showrunner admits they're no gaming expert, promises to honor Kratos' emotional journey. Expect father-son angst with a healthy dose of monster dismemberment. Translation: less button mashing, more dad crying while slaying monsters.
I would watch this.
I'm excited for this, but the only thing is so I know they announced, because originally it was supposed to follow the original games, but they announced like last week that they reworked it and now it's just going to be following the Ragnarok games. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that's cool, but I also kind of like acknowledge. Can you guys acknowledge the Greek mythos and kind of where he came from and how he became a god? Because I like the idea of like what they did is like, the gods are moving across like different parts of the world. So like, he starts off as a Greek god and then he becomes a Norse god, and I'm sure they're gonna have him become something else in the next set of games. But it's like you're gonna
Maybe
go
Irish.
well, I mean, like you're gonna go right into the Norse stuff, but like if they don't acknowledge the Greek stuff, because he basically is a demigod that becomes a god because he kills Ares.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I
So
mean, maybe they won't acknowledge it at the beginning. Like, they'll start off with this and then they'll tell his story
yeah,
as
I
they
mean,
go.
I want the Greek story of this because that's what got me into God of War, and it's like, okay, cool, you guys are going into the Norse, and you're capitalizing on that. Everybody likes the Norse mythology, but like, you can do the Greek version of this, and there's a tragedy behind what happens with uh with like everything with him. I mean, like,
Hmm.
if you look at what happens to Kratos in the original games, right? Kratos, spoiler for anybody who hasn't played a game from like 20 years ago, but I mean, like,
I haven't played any of them, by the way. I do want
okay,
to play them, but you can spoil the heck out of it. I don't care.
yeah, I mean, my issue with going right into the Norse stuff is the story of how Kratos becomes a god. It starts with he is he's a Spartan warrior. He essentially, it's almost like Hercules, right? Like the actual Hercules story, not the Disney Hercules story, but like essentially Ares kills his entire family, his wife and his children, and the ashes of his children become his skin. So that's why he has the white skin, right? And the whole thing is him, like, he gives his soul to Ares in exchange to protect his family, but Ares kills his family. And so the
Does that
whole
mean he got his soul back?
the whole arc of the 3 games.
Hmm.
What up, Squints? The arc of the 3 games is, he goes after Ares, kills Ares in the first game. because he wants revenge and finds out that Ares wasn't the one that was behind everything. Goes after Hades, and then in the end finds out that Zeus is the one that orchestrated everything.
Wow.
Right? So he kills Zeus in the end of the game,
Mhm.
and he becomes a god because of it.
Oh, because he killed the king of the gods, so
Right. So
yeah,
he becomes
okay.
a god, and
Mhm.
the games that they're basing this off are the sequel to that series, where he essentially becomes the Norse god of war. And I understand where they're going with this because they wanna tell that story between him and his son,
Mhm.
right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, cool, tell that emotional story, but at the same time, I eventually want that series, or at least the season or 2 about, the Greek origins and how he became a god in the first place.
Yeah, well, I don't know any I know what you told me and then, just vague stuff about this, but yeah, you kinda wanna start at the beginning, right? So,
Right. So, yeah, we can, if we wanna move on here,
yeah, yeah. I think you said what needed to be said on that. I
right?
really do, I do. 5 lions, 1 hype engine. Voltron gets loud.
Woo!
The
Oh,
actor
wait a
ca
minute. Wait.
Yes, yes, it needed that. The actor calls Amazon Amazon MGM's upcoming Voltron flick wildly entertaining and suggests a sequel may follow. Nostalgia mechs assemble and it's morphin time with upgraded drama. So it's Sterling K. Brown was the actor. I don't know why I didn't put his name in that. Weird. Uh, translation. Childhood chaos is getting a glow up and we might need more lion limbs. I mean, like, how many limbs does a lion have? Like 4. So really 4 is all you're going to get. It's kind of, yeah. Anyway, what do you think?
Uh, I'm excited in general for this. I've felt for a long time that we needed a Voltron movie. I love that he is kind of already on top of it and saying like, "Oh, we're gonna have a sequel. It's gonna be happening." Um, I Voltron is something I grew up with between that and Thundercats.
Robotech? Oh, Thundercat.
Robotech was
Sorry.
another one that I loved, but I mean Voltron and Thundercats were like the 2 shows that I just like, I watched that, and then on top of that, G.I. Joe and Transformers and all that, and I mean, we've already gotten versions of those. It's time to have Voltron. And Sterling K.
Yeah.
Brown is an amazing actor. I can't wait to see what he does with it.
Yeah, he seems really excited about it too. Uh, saying it's wildly entertaining. I think that's like such a compliment for Sterling K. Brown because he's so serious about his work. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I claim the blue leg. I don't know. I have no idea what is what in Voltron. I didn't get into Voltron. A lot of stuff on here I didn't get into. Weird.
It's 5 mini bots turn into 1 super bot.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah, it's a
mini
whole
lions
transformer thing. Let's just start talking about transformers and cars now. I mean, we're going there anyway. Voltron is one step away.
from being cars. Like, why would they be like lion robots and then they turn it into a giant mech? Because Japan, okay?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? That makes more sense to me than transformers being cars. Just saying. That's just my opinion.
What we need is 5 lion bot rings. Yeah, we do. We all need our different rings in order to control our lion bots.
Yes. That reminds me of the Venture Brothers version of that.
Oh god, I remember that episode. It was just
Oh, that was so funny.
there's a Rick and Morty episode of it too,
Yes. The
where
Rick and Morty episode was so good.
they're just
So good.
all making fun of it. Like Rick just wants to collect all of them. So it's like, I've been trying to collect these my entire life.
Right. Jerry. Oh my God, Jerry. Oh, poor Jerry.
It's so good. All right, let's move on to this last story before we get into the main part of the download here. Spawn might finally spawn a new movie because we've been waiting for this for like 10 years now. Todd McFarlane confirms a director reveal is imminent for a long delayed Spawn movie, nudging the shadows closer to a full resurrection. Translation: the shadows are twitching. Actually, production may be imminent.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So I know
I'll believe it when I see it.
so I know he got with Blumhouse a while back for this, right? He's already said, Todd McFarlane has already said the way that they're writing it is akin to the way that it is in the comics. It's going to be more based on Sam and Twitch, and their run-ins with Spawn, and it's going to be more of like a horror thing. So I kind of I want that. That's kind of what I like. I like the idea of you have these two detectives that kind of run into these supernatural things, and kind of freak out about things, just because it's like, how is this coming up and how are we dealing with this? So it's going to be exciting to see all that stuff.
Yeah, I really liked the live action movie. I don't think I saw the other animated one. There was another animated one, right?
So there is a animated Spawn. It was from the 90s. Who was in it? Hold on.
And there was an animated TV show.
Yeah, no, the animated TV show was on HBO.
HBO, yeah.
Yeah, and Keith David played Spawn in that. And it is absolutely terrifying if you go and watch it. Like, the whole thing, the way that that Keith David
It's
plays
really
the character.
dark.
It is. And Keith David killed it, right? I mean, it's that signature voice that he has, right? Playing Spawn.
Yeah.
I did like Michael Jai White's version of the character.
Yeah.
Tater saying John Leguizamo and Martin Sheen were in Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that movie. Don't get me wrong. Again, I like Michael Jai White as Spawn. I thought that was spot on. John Leguizamo killed it as Clown, or the Violator, for those of you who are really into the lore. The story was a little bit out there, but I mean, it was good. I did enjoy that movie, but the animated version definitely shows a more visceral and kind of like the more a more violent version of Spawn, which is what we should have gotten in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the 90s, and some of the stuff that we can get away with now, we couldn't get away with back then. And so, yeah.
Yeah,
Give
because
it
Spawn
to
is
Snyder. Just give it to Snyder. I think Snyder would do a fantastic job with Spawn.
and right as of right now, Jamie Foxx has been the one that was tapped to play Al Simmons, to play Spawn in this movie.
Yeah. And just have Snyder direct it. There you go. Boom. Boom, bam, boom. I did it. Pay me money.
Or pay me no mind.
No, pay me money.
Yeah, I said pay me no money or pay me no mind.
No. What?
You've never heard that saying?
No.
Yeah, pay me my
What's the
money or pay
saying?
me no mind.
Pay me my money or pay me no mind.
Mm-hmm. Means give me my money or don't bother me.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I was like, what is the no mind thing?
Yeah, or pay me no mind. So it's like, give me my money or leave me alone.
Okay. So either pay me or shut up.
Right.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right. So I am checking in with our guest right now.
Okay.
He said he's ready. I'm just double checking and sending the link again. Oh, he's already here. There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Before we jump into the next story here, because we are going to be jumping into all the SDCC goodness, here to join us to talk about San Diego Comic-Con, ladies and gentlemen, from the Geek Freaks Network himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Thomas from Geek Freaks.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. As you can tell, a little under the weather. I went pretty hard over at Comic-Con, so I'm feeling a little rough. So bear with me, everybody.
I hear you, man. I'm still recovering myself.
Comic-Con crud sucks. So
Yeah.
I feel so bad for you both. It'll take about a week, and you'll be fantastic again.
Yeah,
man,
I want to be fantastic. There you go. I want to be Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
I was so sluggish today. I just did not want to wake up, and then was like, went to work and was just like, why am I doing this right now?
Yeah. It is. It's always a great event. I will say, it's gotten crazier since I've started going to it. On preview night, which is supposed to be the night where you have an exclusive ticket to go there, right? But then, normally you get the 4-day pass. Preview night was shoulder to shoulder. Like, it was so packed. This whole weekend was crazy. And then, the lack of sleep, the too much drinking, and the not enough food on my end is the issue here. But it was a great time for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard because you want to go and see everything, and everything is just stacked back to back to back to back, and you have to make these hard choices. It's like trying to choose your favorite child or dog because you're like, well, I want to go and see this, but oh crap, they're doing a signing, and oh, but my favorite comic book artist is right here, and so it's like you want to clone yourself. I mean, being multiple man would be such a cool thing to do. Or what's her name from Legion of Superheroes, the one that multiple last. So what did she call herself? I can't remember. Phantom
Sure.
Girl.
You had me at multiple man though, and I do agree with you. And you are so right. That's something I always tell everybody, and I've only been fortunate to go 3 times. I love it, but with San Diego Comic-Con in particular, you cannot go to everything. Like, you'll have your schedule, and there was a moment where I was like, okay, well, Jim Lee's going on right now, and then Robert Kirkman's over here, and I'm like, which one am I going to go to? And you have to decide the half an hour before which one you're going to, and then you are stuck there. Because if you try to jump back and forth to rooms, it is not happening.
Yeah.
And then this year especially, there was so many cool activations. Like, it's not just the convention, it's everything that falls out into the city. It was crazy. So I missed so many panels I wanted to go see. I missed so many activations I want to see. So many. There's just not enough time, even over the 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And I still feel like there was too much. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like for when we go to LACC. It's there's so much going on and so many panels, and for the most part, there's usually always someone we know that's doing a panel. So we're just like, oh well, we want to go and support friends, but at the same time, this is going on over here. Like this year, they announced that all of the WandaVision cast is going to be there. So like all the people from WandaVision. So usually at LA Comic-Con, when they have those kind of things, there's usually an announcement.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, what are they going to announce, man?
You're right. You know what I will say though, like, I'm spoiled because I live here in San Diego, so it's like I just get to take the train down, or it's like a short drive to the convention center. But the one thing I like about LA Comic-Con compared to San Diego is that when you walk in, right, they have that main stage that's right in the center, and it's so cool. Like, that's so great.
Yeah.
There's no Hall H either, right? So that's the other thing. Like, forget the regular panels you want to see. If you want to try to get into Hall H, that's all you're doing that day. Like, my
you
Saturday,
have to stand in line, and you might see like 3 panels you don't really care about just to see the one panel you do care about. I actually used to work it, so I lived in San Diego for years. So yeah, I worked it. The first comic book convention I ever went to was San Diego Comic-Con.
Dang, that's like the first game you go to is the Super Bowl. Like,
right?
That's just yeah.
So I went to that, and then I went to like a Wizard World, and then I went to like one of my local ones, and I was like, look, they're local. they don't have the resources that San Diego does. Like, I had to like talk
Mhm.
myself down from being like, this is like really like rickety. I was just like, nope, they're doing their best. They're doing their best. So,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think you guys named a bunch of really good conventions, and I love LA Comic-Con. I think for a long time that was the first convention I ever really went to. And right off the bat, yeah, with Geek Freaks. Now, we're all part of the same family and whatnot, but at this time I was just kind of friends with Frank, who's kind of our network head, and I was like, "Hey, do you have anybody going to LA Comic-Con?" He's like, "I don't." I was like, "Okay, well, I'll go if you want me to cover it." And from the jump, I got interviews with Donnie Cates,
Wow.
with Larry Houston, with the cast of Sandlot. Talked
oh
to Amy Jo
wow.
Oh, we
Johnson.
were
I
at
was
the
like,
same show. We were at the same show because
"Oh,
we got an interview with the cast of the Sandlot because
oh,
they
nice,
set us up in the press box, so we actually had all of our
sweet,
equipment in there so we could actually get high quality interviews.
nice,
We had the cast of the Sandlot. We had Rob Paulson came up and we had an interview with him.
sweet,
We try to talk to different like comic creators and stuff like that. Last year we talked to Jamie Jirak. She came and hung out with us for a little
yeah." Oh, I
interview.
love Jamie.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's so cool, man.
yeah, she's the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a nice conversation with Brandon Davis for like an hour. I mean, just,
BD, it's my
yeah,
boy right there. Yeah,
BD's the
legend.
man. I love that guy, man.
Yeah, such a good dude.
If we're
Yeah.
comparing stories, I told George Perez I was pregnant. He
Dang,
was the
nice.
first person I told. Also, Stan Lee said something very nice to me at San Diego Comic-Con once because
Dang.
Julius Schwartz was being a total dick and told me to get the fuck out of his way. And so Stan Lee was like, "It's okay, sweetie. He's just grumpy." And I was like, "Thanks."
Oh, okay,
So
well, I can't.
I have
Yeah,
tons of San Diego stories, let me tell you.
that's amazing. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you could beat that story, but it was just such a surprise for me because it was my first convention, It was like
Yeah.
literally the first one, and I didn't know what to expect. I'd always wanted to go to San Diego Comic-Con, could never go in, like, could never get tickets, or I didn't live in town or had something going on. So it was just such a surprise to, go to my first convention and then be able to talk to all these people. Like, you're either reading their stories or watching their movies and shows. It blew me away, and I was like, all right, I like this stuff. Like, how do I do more of this? And here we are, so it's been great.
Yeah, James in the chat saying that's what spurred us to reach out to you, Thomas. A pick with you, Brandon Davis, and Joe Deckelmeyer. And Joe Deckelmeyer's
Yeah,
another guy I love to death, man. He was
Joe's a
so
man.
yeah,
Yeah. He's such a good dude too. Yeah, like I said, I was just, I mean, here's this nobody just showing up to this convention, or
how I feel anytime we go to a con, man.
yeah. But, luckily I got into some of these places like you were saying, and they were around and, kind of said, "Hey, what are you here for?" "Oh, I'm here to do some interviews." And we kind of hit it off from there. So that's the beauty of doing these kind of conventions. And it's like, it's nice to talk to your friends. And obviously we get into some great discussions here on these podcasts, but to be out there with fans, to be out there with the people who are doing it at the highest level and
Right.
talking to the people making the stuff that we love is just incredible. So
Absolutely.
yeah, great dudes all around for sure.
James in the chat asking, how was your panel? Which I do actually want to know, man. How did your panel go?
Oh
I have
man.
a little preview because I listened to your podcast with Frank earlier today, so I
Oh,
kind
right
of know what
on.
happened. But
Yeah.
yeah, tell them because it's amazing. I love the stories.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I it went well. All right, I don't want to like sound like I'm too big headed here or whatnot, but one, gotta give it out to Kurosh. Give props to Kurosh. He set up the panel. He does an amazing podcast called Save Point Stories. He is also a contributor over at Temple of Geek, and just a stellar guy. I've met him over the years doing panels and going to WonderCon and all that kind of stuff, and he's like, "Hey, I know you don't normally talk about video games, but I think you might be okay for this panel." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I saw my co-host and I was like, "Whoa, I'm out of my league here. There's like, some heavy hitters on this panel. Are you sure?" But we got in there and it was so fun. The crowd was into it. I dropped a few stories on a game that everybody on the internet hated for a long time until Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League came out. Then everybody started backtracking and we're like, actually, that game wasn't that bad, which was Marvel's Avengers. And I had a lot of good Marvel's Avengers story on the panel.
I enjoyed the main storyline on that. It was just the post game wasn't the greatest, right? But
That's
I mean,
what
like,
everybody says. That's what
yeah,
everybody says, man. But if that game had the support it needed to, it would have stomped on Gotham Knights. It would have stomped on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Like, I played all of those game stories, but there was an element of it that was just so fun. And for me, like at this point, I had just gotten out of the hospital. For those of people who don't know, like I was in a plane crash. I even had to say this on stage, which with all these prying eyes, I was like, man, is this too heavy right now to say to people? But that is the story. And so it was one of those games where I was like, I played the beta. I signed up for the beta. I was like in a cast. I had one hand with my like 3 fingers on one side. I'm like, I'm going to master this game. I don't care who says anything. Like, I'm going to master this game.
Yeah.
And because of that, I got into all these different groups and game chats and discords, and I was definitely in there and made some good friends. And one of my friends ended up being this guy. I had no idea he was famous, but he goes by name CT. He's a professional comedian. He tours the country and stuff. And I went to his panel, actually. He just did one. He was on this Kevin Hart show called Little Kev. And
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
we became really good friends after that. And both movie fans, both I would say comic book nerds in the fact of like movies and stuff. And yeah, and just even getting to hang out with him at this convention and whatnot. So the panel was it was very revealing, I think, as much as I wanted to keep it fun and entertaining.
Who doesn't
Awesome.
want to go to San Diego Comic-Con and also therapy at the same time?
Right,
I
right.
mean, isn't that every little nerd stream? Little geek
Yeah.
stream?
Kind of is.
One shop stop.
I was gonna say Marvel's Avengers for all the hate that it got. I actually what I liked about it was that they focused on Kamala Khan, where like
I
the other
still
properties
haven't
hadn't.
finished it, but I loved playing it. I
Mhm.
couldn't do the jump thing with Captain America in space, but I have a husband for that. He did very well on that. And yeah, but I mean, I still haven't finished it. I refuse to finish it. I don't want it to be over. I
Yeah,
like it.
Yeah.
I love that they focused on that she's a fangirl that became an Avenger, and it was just kind of like that's the character that we all see ourselves in. It's
Mhm.
everybody is a fan, and it's like, man, if only it would be cool to be an Avenger, and she gets to live that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a fan of the comics. Like, I really like it, but I think, I mean, Amon Villani is a superstar, but
Oh my
the
god,
Avengers
right.
video game might be my second favorite rendition of Kamala because she,
Yeah.
like, eventually, once you level everybody up, and I had like all the best gear, I was level,
Mhm.
I think it was like 150 or something you could get to, something like ridiculous. But once you can get to her ult, and you're stomping around with all the best gear, with all the perks on it. It's out of control. Like,
Yeah,
it was so fun. Plus grabbing people when you're big. It was like a really cool game. It needed, to your point, more end game content. But I mean, I don't know. I think I won over some fans on that game in
yeah.
the
Like I said,
panel.
that was my issue. Was the end game content was just kind of it became repetitive, and it was just kind of
Mm,
like
Yeah.
in the end game because like the missions were fine, like everything was good. It's just
yeah.
like once you get to the end game, it's like all the missions are repetitive, and it's like the same thing over and over again. And it's like
Mm.
that's where it lost me. Was everything post game was like, man, they could have done so much more with this, and they could have added so many more characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's plans. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you're so right. But I mean, COVID got it. Not like I'm defending Square Enix because they don't need it.
yeah.
I'm not,
Oh, and
and
the
not
other
that I
thing
need to
was
bring this
was
back up from the battle.
the other thing was the Sony Spider-Man exclusive. Kind of upset me because I'm an Xbox player, so it was just kind of like, okay, so I can't play Spider-Man because Sony is got that exclusive on the PlayStation. And then I heard that he was kind of lackluster, and it was just like, oh, come on, man, like that is like those kind of things where it's like, okay, well, we're gonna make him an exclusive, but he's also not going to be a fun character to play with.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't as good if people were expecting him to be as good as a solo Spider-Man PlayStation game, like you're out of your mind. Like the goal was to continuously add on new characters and new villains. Yeah, really can't believe we're talking about Marvel's Adventures. But here we are.
Yeah, I know.
But
And I mean,
he
we
was
do got to get to the
serviceable.
stories here, but I mean, like
Mhm.
I do. I'm just kind of like relating here. Like I'm not someone who was like one of the haters out there. It was just kind of like it was more. It
You're
was a
you're
great game.
fanboying. It's okay. You're
I am.
fanboying.
It was a
Yeah.
great game, and then I was disappointed with the end game content. Is all it was.
Very fair. Very fair.
And especially because I'm a Destiny player, so I mean, end game content is king for me.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, like I like games like that too. I mean, it had all the elements. It was grindy, but there was other games that we brought up too up there. I shared a story about, the first question of the panel was, "What video game in your life describes you?" And so people had some great answers. I really fun one. Some I didn't even know. One person's was like Animal Crossing, but for me, it was Super Smash Brothers Melee. So,
Wow.
yeah, I used to play with my friends nonstop. It's a mixture between all the famous Nintendo characters you like. It's silly, it's whimsical, it's goofy in some ways, but also deadly serious when you got to competitive. And the joke I made on stage was, I don't want to brag, but I was 1,143 in the country or something like that. So I was nowhere near the top, but I did play in some competitions. I got absolutely wiped every time. But that game, me and my friends, we would back then we would call it STD, Smash Till Dawn. So you would just like play all night. And we would go head to head. It'd be so serious, but I love that game. I put so many hours into it. And yeah, and then we got to the therapy of it all. So well-rounded panel, and I got to give it out to Krosh for setting that one up.
Yeah,
That's
Super
awesome.
Smash, man. The game that how to piss your friends off with an up smash.
Yeah, definitely. Or if
So,
you were, oh yeah, sorry, go for it.
oh, I was just gonna say, Phil, what game would describe you?
Oh God.
And
I would have
it
to think about that and get back
short
to you.
answer.
No, I'm saying I would have to think about that and get back to you
Okay.
because I am a variety gamer. I play so many different games, and it's hard to call out what game would describe me as a person. I can tell you what my go-to games are. Like I've never not played an Assassin's Creed. There's something about the exploration. There's something about the fighting mechanics. I love that the newer games are getting back into the stealth. Like those kind of games are the kind of games I like to play. Again,
So you're not
Destiny.
gonna answer it?
I was going to get Destiny 2 is a game that the grind, but the camaraderie in the game has always been something that like I played that game more to play with my friends than it was anything else. And then my go-to mindless, not thinking about anything game is Call of Duty. So I mean, like, but I don't play Warzone. I never got into I've never gotten into battle royale games as much as that's like the norm for everything. I'm a multiplayer guy, so I go in there and just piss people off in multiplayer. So
I had reservations asking you, and I should have gone with those instincts, I feel like. And then because
I gave the
feel like
biggest non-answer right now.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you
What about
said
you?
you said you had to think about it, and then you proceeded to think about it in real time.
Yeah.
And
Jen, what game
yeah,
describes you?
that's it. Okay, it would have to be one of two. Either Dragon Age
Mm.
2 or, and this is so funny because they're both twos, or Mass Effect 2. I do like some of the stuff from 3, and I did enjoy Andromeda. I know not everybody did, but I feel like those is very consistent storyline, had very interesting characters in both of those, and strong like engines that gave you some fun, silly stuff to do, as well as like the main storyline that's like, hey, you got to save the world. So I like that because it's chaotic, and sometimes you can just, kill everything, and sometimes you don't have to. So that's me in a nutshell. Chaos.
Sometimes killing everything and sometimes not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pretty much describes it.
Okay. Perfect. I
Yeah.
love it.
My My every Dungeons and Dragons character I have ever played, and I'm like, this time they're gonna be lawful good, it's gonna be amazing, and then they turn out chaotic good, sometimes chaotic neutral, depends on the day I'm having.
I,
But yeah,
I have
and
something about
that's
complex characters. I like characters that are so complicated. My D&D character, I've said this famously on the show, but like my D&D character is a half orc paladin.
Okay. Okay.
Specifically because of the duality of the character, right? It is a character that is prone to violence, prone to chaos and just anger, but at the same time, a paladin that prays to paladine, which means your character is supposed to be a good natured character that always does the right thing. So the whole thing is I like the push and the pull of that kind of character, and I think that's what those are my favorite types of characters, whether in video game or anything in writing or anything, is characters that are complex, where it's
Yeah.
not just a black and white character. It is a character that is just as complex and complicated as we are, as people are.
Got it. Are you like a
another
Punisher fan?
Oh, I love Punisher.
Yeah.
I love the Punisher because of things like that, where his intent is always to do the right thing, but he's such a violent asshole that he's gonna kill anybody that gets in his way.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep.
let's get to the stories.
Yeah, let's jump into these stories, because
All
I would
right.
talk about nerd stuff
Because
all
we've
day.
just yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't feel well, so
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jen. Yeah. What do you want to know? I think we kind of touched on it. Like the activations is another thing
Mhm.
where I wanted to go to so many more panels. They had a Alien Earth activation where you could go around and it had all these different props and like things that were in the Alien universe. There was Predator Badlands. It's been a strong couple years, I feel like, for Alien and for Predator for those franchises. So I'm glad that it's kind of getting some love out there in the world as well, which was
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree.
What else? Oh, I got to do a really cool one that was, it sounds weird, but it was Old Spice and DC and Superman. And it
oh
was
wait, I want to talk to you about that one. But yes,
okay.
go tell about it and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, one of my friends that works for San Diego Comic-Con needed somebody to go through the activation, and it was really cool. We got, kind of got to jump in front of the line and they explained how the whole activation works. And there was like a photo booth that had an iPad on the ceiling inside of a rocket. And so you would like press the photo booth thing and you do all the crazy pictures. And then you'd hit the button and then it would spit out an Old Spice that it thought that you needed, which I'm sure was just random now that I say it. But it was like probably we all needed it. It was so hot. We were all sweaty. Everybody was stinky. We all probably needed that. And then another photo booth recreating Action Comics #1, where you like hold up the car, and then that also
Oh, that's
spit out.
cool.
Yeah, it was great, and they had like a full like photography team. And then the last one had like a life size bottle of the deodorant. And if you scan the QR code, there was like a digital Superman that would pop up on your phone, and then you could play this game shooting stuff into the deodorant bucket, which was sounds weird, but it was really cool. And then they had a DJ in there and a lounge system and everything. But yeah, that was one of the better activations that I got to do.
That's awesome. Okay, so I have been saying for years that Sundays at any comic book convention is the stinkiest day of the convention because of all the BO. And
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that the San Diego Comic-Con finally read my letter and they had Old Spice there to make sure everybody had deodorant.
That's so smart. All right. Well, yeah, they should kick you back some money because, yeah, I don't know if it helped too much, but at least people had access to some fresh Old
they
Spice.
they couldn't use that as an excuse. That's
Yeah,
what we're saying.
exactly.
Oh man. Well, let's jump into these stories that we have here because we definitely want your opinion on some of these things, whether you were there or not. So
I'll read the intro
all
and
right, go
then
for it.
if you want we can just swap stories. We'll just
Yeah,
swap.
go for it.
How's that? Okay. SDCC 2025 dropped harder than a Sith Lord at therapy. And while Marvel and DC took a breather, the con gave us cameos, cosmic sense, and so much genre goodness. It should have been illegal in 3 systems.
All right. Well, guys, Hall H came in hot with icons and intergalactic oddities. So let's talk about Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. George Lucas made his SDCC debut with Guillermo del Toro, Doug Chang, and Queen Latifah. The museum opens in LA in 2026, celebrating illustrated storytelling, think art comics, Star Wars models, vintage strips, and more. Lucas called it a temple to the people's art. Now, also Project Hail Mary, Ryan Gosling wakes alone in space, befriends a 5-legged alien named Rocky, and it's a practical effects win, and races to save humanity. Gosling and Lord and Miller, Andy Weir, equals funny, heartwarming, hard sci-fi friendship goals, and it's launching in March of 2026. We got another activation here, or not activation, but another
All age goodness.
Hall H goodness here with Tron Ares. Jared Leto, Jeff Bridges, and Greta Lee dropped light cycle footage and a 9 Inch Nails music video. Real world chases meet grid escapes plus lasers. So many lasers. And of course, we got a drop for James Gunn and John Cena talking about Peacemaker season 2. They teased multiverse hopping, Bugs Bunny cameos, and Frank
What?
Grillo's. Huh?
Sorry, I just
Frank
the
Grillo's
Bugs Bunny cameo.
Frank Grillo's vengeance arc. Expect chaos, chainsaws, and emotional damage. Or I guess it would be emotional damage. All right, so let's let's talk about this. Were you there for any of those?
So the
presentations?
only one I caught was the George Lucas one, and
Okay.
like by the skin
Oh,
of my
that's the
teeth.
one to catch. Yeah, that's the one to catch, though.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, I can't miss this one. It was amazing. I caught it like really in the last 20 minutes, but it got deep. Like George was talking about the, people's destiny and God and what he thought, the purpose of living was and everything.
Oh,
And
God.
then so that was like a spiritual experience on a Sunday. And then Guillermo kind of brought it back to actual art and the creative process. And he talked a little bit about AI, and he talked a little bit about propaganda and how media can be kind of turned against us or used against us. So it was like, dang, this is some pretty heavy, amazing wisdom. But then as they were walking off, they just like had so much fun. And that room too. I mean, it wasn't like last year I was lucky enough to be there to see the Marvel panel, and that I've never been in a room like that. Like that was insane. I mean, having all the Thunderbolts, that they started with a full orchestra, everybody dressed as Deadpool and Wolverine. And then we got to see a clip of Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and then obviously the Robert Downey Jr., where everybody lost it. And
Right.
that was the craziest room I think I've ever been in. This wasn't that, but it still felt impactful. You felt like you're watching somebody who is just one of the greats. I mean, they both, I think Guillermo del Toro is as well, but like George Lucas just, never doing a panel at Comic-Con. That's crazy. But you could tell he's just a very deep, intelligent individual. And it really makes me want to go see that museum. It was great.
Absolutely. I mean, George Lucas in himself. I mean, the guy is philosophy, right? I mean, Star Wars is based on the hero's journey. So I mean, like,
Yes.
the guy has been, you want to talk about somebody who believes in philosophy and has a philosophical journey on his own. Guillermo del Toro is another one that's like that. You look at the art.
You see, that's so good. You
that,
say, I can never say it that way. Say Guillermo del Toro one more time.
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, wow.
Don't
That's
feed
good.
into his ego.
Yeah,
That's pretty good though. I can't roll my R's. I'm jealous.
it's a Hispanic thing.
I know. My
I
wife
can
do
roll
it.
my
I know.
R's. I'm not Hispanic, and I can roll my R's.
Well, I'm not, and I can't.
But yeah, I mean, it's the level of respect for the art that they have. And I mean, again, I wasn't there. I just got to hear about what they talked about and everything like that. And it excites me. I can't wait to see the museum. Yeah, either. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely things that excite me as a nerd.
Yeah.
I think it'll be amazing. I can't wait to see all of it. And when I do come to California, we'll have to go visit the museum.
That's right.
Yeah, I will say one last thing though. It was funny because Queen Latifah was, moderating the panel, and she asked George why there are no straight lines in the museum, and he went on, like a 15-minute tangent talking about like life, destiny, and God. So it was pretty funny. It was insightful, but I still don't know why there's no right angles in that museum. So just throwing that out there.
It's a George Lucas thing, and that's all you
Yeah,
got to say. It's a George
exactly.
Lucas thing.
Yep, you were right.
Oh man,
Oh.
let's move into the next part here.
Okay. Warping from the main stage to the side quests, cameos that made fans scream and squint. I almost said a different word. I'm glad I double checked. Brandon Routh crashes the rejects. Dressed as Spider-Man, Routh crashed a concert to promote his horror sci-fi indie Ick. Aliens, regrets, and zingers fly fast. Superman has range. And then Archie versus minor threats. Betty Cooper
Mm,
takes on indie supervillains in this unexpected comic crossover. Chaos, sass, and multiversal milkshakes incoming. So I'd heard some of this. I guess Gail Simone's gonna do one. Like there's like a whole
yeah,
bunch of things today. So did you get to see any of this, Thomas? Did
I
you like
yeah, I actually saw both. So
Wow.
yeah,
what? Really? Oh my god,
yeah,
that's amazing.
not in person on the Brown and Routh thing. I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
But I saw him pop up, which was super random because he kind of like was like, "Who's this random like dude jumping on stage with the All American Rejects and like awkwardly asking for the mic?" And then of course he took off his mask, and then it was like, "Oh my god, that's Superman wearing Spider-Man
Yeah.
stuff." So that's weird. Also, I never heard of that movie, but it was cool. That got a lot of buzz from a lot of people.
Yeah.
All American Rejects, you can't beat that.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
He
guess
does.
you could
Oh
also
yeah.
say he was the Atom. You can also say that he was boyfriend number 4. Evil boyfriend number 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was boyfriend to yeah, he was boyfriend number 4,
He was evil
but
boyfriend
he was
number 4.
dating
Oh
yeah, but
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
dating girlfriend number 1
Yes,
from
he was.
Scott. Yeah,
That's
which is
right.
Brie Larson, our
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Who
Don't you
Brie
know?
Larson? You're right. Is I mean, she was his girlfriend in that. So I mean, like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That totally went over my head, and then I was like, "Oh, Scott Pilgrim." Also, like he can't have dairy, right? Isn't
That's
that the
right.
whole thing? Like they all said to give him dairy,
Because
and he
he's
like
a
explodes.
vegan.
He's a
Yeah,
vegan.
Yeah.
vegan. Oh, I know, so good.
No vegan diet, no vegan powers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
The
Milk isn't
vegan
vegan.
police come in there. What amazing
And that was a
movie.
Punisher came and did it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
It-
right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so much nerd.
I know. My
Okay.
favorite part is when they jump out of the room and they both like skip over the bricks and they high five. They're like, "Yay!" That part is just ridiculous. I
That's
love
the
that.
part that I was just thinking of right now.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
Did
amazing.
you get? But you did get to see the Archie versus Minor Threats panel, or
So
the
yeah, I
the
did see the
thing. I
minor
don't think it
threats
was a
panel.
panel, but like the
Well, I
fun
was
stuff.
oh well, I was in the minor threats panel, and they brought out obviously it was Patton Oswalt. It was his collaborator there. I'm trying to see if I can pull up a picture right now of all the different collaborators that they're having work on minor threats, which was ridiculous. It's like, creme de la creme of like comic book writers and artists. Oh, okay, yeah. So one of the side, what's the word I'm looking for? One of like the side runs that they're doing. They're gonna have Mike Mignola, Scott Hepburn, Gary Nord Carrie Nord working on a run. Then they have JM Damatis,
Dematis.
Damatis.
Matias. Yeah, Damatias. Yeah, that's
I
it.
yeah.
You had it right.
Thank you. Don't know how to say that. Kevin McGuire. And then Hannah Rose May and Justin Mason are working on a book. Then Dan Hernandez and Derek Robertson are working on a book. And then they were also like, that wasn't even all of them either. There was like a Gail Simone thing in there. Dan Jurgens. Dan Jurgens, is that right? I think that's right. Yeah.
Dan Jurgens,
He's there too. Like there was just so many people that they were bringing on stage. And so I will be honest, I didn't read Minor Threats or anything, but as soon as I left, I was like, that's it. I'm getting it. I'm buying all of it because they were just the way they were talking about it and talking about, okay, now we're getting to volume 3 and the offshoots of the universe that they're creating. And what is it Image or Boom that they're doing with? Is it Dark Horse? Is it Image? I think it might be Image. Either way, they're letting them just take the reins and run with it and bringing in so much talent in the comic book industry. I was like, all right, I don't know why I haven't read this already, but I know I need to. So that was an awesome panel. Yeah.
It's a trip
Wow.
because there's so much that Archie is doing crossovers with right now. Like they just came off of a run with Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say, hey Phil, we can reveal to Thomas that the San Diego International Comic Book Convention is actually, it's been a long con on behalf of Thomas that we wanted him to read the Minor Threats series, and so we created this whole thing
Just
and like
so you can
backed
watch
it
Minor
up and
Threats.
had realities.
Right.
So
wow. Well,
congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. We did it, y'all.
We did it, guys. Everybody, we did it.
It's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is like a spiritual awakening. Oh, okay.
All right.
Matt Fraction is also writing something too. So I'm gonna throw that out there.
Nice.
That's crazy. I love Matt Fraction. Oh, he's such a good writer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on to the next story here. It's time to blast into the reboot zone where nostalgia's back and SDCC fought Bo with citrus BO with citrus powered superheroes and wearable pets. Coyote versus Acme is on the comeback, which I'm excited for. I've been wanting to see it since they announced it and it got destroyed and it's bringing back, and
the fans saved it.
Journey, the fans really did save it. The journey that it's on. While E sues Acme for years of defective gadgets, Bugs Bunny snitches. Miss Prissy joins the jury, but Will Forte and John Cena anchor the absurdity. I've been waiting for this just because it's like, I think all the fans were excited for this, and then Warner Brothers was like, no, we're not doing it. And it's like, what the hell, dude? Like, why? Neopets are back.
And then
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then the condiment company saved them.
A condiment company saved it. It's so crazy, right? Neopets are back. The early 2000s returned with account recovery tools and wearable merch. Nostalgia hits harder than a painted Irie with low hunger stats.
That's amazing.
And of course, we know that Old Spice Comic-Con finally read Frey's letter because Old Spice unveiled a citrus cosmos fragrance for the Man of Steel.
It's hilarious. I love it. I think that was my most favorite thing ever. I was like, Phil can tell you, if we talk about a comic book convention at all, I am always talking about how bad the BO is on Sundays. Like, I'm like, it is just, it's thick. The air is thick with it. And it's no one's fault. Like, everybody's just exhausted and it's hot out. And, you're
all the booze are trying to escape.
Yeah, but it's like, you're inches away from another person. So it's totally that. So that they did that Old Spice. Yeah. Well, and then Old Spice is like, hey, maybe we should do an activation at Comic-Con. Do you think that would be, you think that might be a good thing? And San Diego Comic-Con's like, oh, thank you. We have been trying to do this for years.
Yeah.
Just piping it in instead of putting it on people. Just pipe that in. Pipe that fragrance in the freaking convention.
That's they do.
I know. They at least should put like vending machines in the convention now. I mean, they would absolutely kill it. But did you guys hear about this movie? I wasn't able to watch it, although I had some friends that kind of got in there, but instead I got to do some other interviews at that time, which for me was pretty cool. Like I just had a ton of fun kind of doing that. So, did you have any of you watched Supergirl?
Like
Watch
the
Supergirl? Like,
original.
Yeah, on CW
oh,
with like
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Elizabeth.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like, there's a whole bunch of like, there was the
there was.
Helen Schaefer one,
Because
and then
he said he said at
It's
first, "Have
true.
you seen this movie?" And I'm like, "Wait, the Supergirl movie's already out? I thought they hadn't filmed it yet."
No, yeah, you're right. I think there was like the original or whatever, like the '80s version or '90s version. But yeah, so I got to speak to Nicole Maines. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
I
She
loved her in Supergirl. She played Dreamer, right?
Yeah, so I got to
Ah,
do
I
kind of
loved
a
her.
one-on-one with her, talking about her new comic series, Secret Six, and ask her some questions about her time playing Dreamer. And then, she when she knew that the show was wrapping up, she actually went to DC and was like, "Hey, I don't want this character to die or go away. Like, you guys should write a comic book story." And then they said to her, "Why don't you write the story?" And she's like,
Nice.
"I'm not a comic book writer." And they're like, don't worry about it. We think you could figure something out. And she told me about her whole process getting thrown in to the deep end of DC Comics and like with their professionals and their, I don't know, I guess they have like DC teachers somewhere. They have masters, I guess, somewhere in there. And she told me about writing Secret Six and some other things coming up, but it sounds so cool. So yeah, wasn't able to see the Acme movie, but at least we get to see it later on this year. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's fun. I think it's great that you got a one-on-one sit down with Nicole Mates. I think that's amazing. So, and are you putting that up on one of the shows, or was that just like
Yeah.
which one?
Uh,
I mean, is it coming out soon, or come on, plug
okay.
yourself. Tell us
Oh,
all about
okay.
it.
Absolutely. I don't know. This isn't. It's not network approved. I don't know, but
Oh,
I also am a collaborator over at Nerd Initiative, and so both the interviews, majority of the interviews that I did, are up on the website now. Nicole
oh,
Maines
cool.
is up on YouTube. I also got to do Philip Kennedy Johnson, who's writing Adventures of Superman, the Book of L. He's a very intimidating guy. Like the guy is built. He's a little bit stone cold, not in an unfriendly way, but he just looks intimidating. And so we sit down. I didn't know I was gonna have this interview. One of the PR reps from DC was like, "Hey, do you want to interview him now?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't have anything prepared." He's like, "You'll be fine." I'm like, "Okay." So thank you to Google and Chat GPT. I kind of whipped up a batch of questions. And then when we sat down, he kind of started going into how he writes Superman. And I asked him, is it hard to write Superman? He said, for me, he's like, I know a lot of people say it is hard, but for me, it's not hard at all because the things that people think are a weakness are not his weakness. These are the things that are his weakness. And then the way he kind of approaches it is that he is very close with his 11-year-old son, and I could just feel it was going in this very personal direction, which was just amazing. Rarely do you get to like peel back the layers behind the emotions of why you create those stories with these characters, right? And yeah, and it just so happens I found out that I'm having my first little one. For anybody watching, you could see that there's a stroller back there. That thing's brand new, and there's not been a baby in it yet, but there will probably be in December.
Well,
So I
congrats, man.
just thank you
Yeah,
very much. Oh,
congratulations.
thank you, thank you.
Mazel tov.
Okay, appreciate it. But yeah, so I kind of just put the questions down that I had briefly prepped and was just like, so, give it to me straight. And he kind of shared some fatherly advice, both from like the perspective of Superman and then from the perspective of Batman with Damian Wayans. And it was like this amazing conversation that I could not even imagine. Like it was like, this is incredible, like yeah, to also get this advice almost from the person who is telling you how Superman would be a father, or the person who's telling you how Batman would be a father, was a trip. So yeah, that was a cool conversation.
Awesome. It seems like you had a really well-rounded con, but we have one more story left. I think it's mine, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I think that was
it
you,
is.
right? Yeah, you did the Acme thing. It's my
Yeah.
turn.
Go for it.
Ready to embrace the weird, killer clowns, desert bots, and slime-drenched anti-heroes. Pushed SDCC to the edge. Predator Badlands. This time, the Predator's the underdog, facing off against mercs with help from a desert-trapped robot played by Elle Fanning. And who doesn't want to get trapped on a planet with her? Stylized survival meets franchise reinvention. And the Toxic Avenger reboot. Peter Dinklage leads a goopy, campy romp through mutant revenge and environmental carnage. Slime budget extravagant. IT, Welcome to Dairy. Pennywise's origin story teases with blood, lore, and uncomfortable child laughter. Trailer-o-meter, you will not sleep well.
Did you say IT?
Though,
Yeah.
did I say IT?
Yeah.
You're still into the IT crowd, Jen.
Yeah.
It's
You're off the
in my
clock.
DNA. I'm sorry. It's in my DNA. IT crowd's in my DNA. It. Welcome to Dairy. It. You guys got it. Pennywise. Everybody knows who Pennywise is.
Yes.
Ugh,
Yeah.
giving me grief. Why are you guys griefing me like that? The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon, we kind of already talked about this. Norman Reedus takes his final bow in a revenge-heavy arc that trades zombie hordes for personal reckoning. Cue the crossbow curtain call. And that's it.
Well done.
That's it.
Yeah. So I mean,
Did you get
all
to see any of
exciting.
these?
Yeah. So no, I didn't get to see them, but I've watched the trailers for all of these. So it's like I know a little bit of what to expect. Out of this entire grouping, for me, it's definitely Predator Badland. Not only because I saw the activations out there, but like, God, I think it's Dan Trachtenberg who did Prey, and I think he's doing this one too. And I also think he was a producer on Killer of Killers. So he's crushing it in the Predator universe. You got Fede Alvarez with the Alien side. They said years ago, you know what the best Alien vs. Predator movie would be? The best Alien vs. Predator movie would be a Predator that you're following along with, where you're just kind of following their story. You don't know if they're going to make it. And at some point, the movie switches and it introduces aliens. Now, I'm going to throw out a Hail Mary prediction here. I think we could get that in Predator Badlands. So yeah, I don't know, but it just seems phenomenal. I've been loving everything they've been doing. So I'm so excited about that movie.
It's crazy because like right off the bat, like the very first thing you see in that trailer is Weyland Yutani. And it's just kind of like, that is a blatant reference to Alien.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so that's kind of like where I'm in the same boat with you on this. Like I'm so happy that somebody is trying to kind of rectify this Alien versus Predator and not make it like let's go off of, let's try and make something that we think is going to make a bunch of money. And it's like, hey, let's do something that is actually a good story and that will make money. I've always been of the mind that if you make something good, if you make a good property, that will make money. Like, don't sit there and try and make something with the intention to make money. Make something that is good, and that will make money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Prey did that. One of the biggest mistakes on Prey was that it didn't get a theatrical release.
Yeah.
Like it should have. I mean, that movie is incredible. Like I was like, why is this so good and why is this not in theaters? And I feel like with Dan Trachtenberg, when it comes to Predator, also, I will say, since all this Predator stuff's coming out and it's been fire, like comics have been good, movies have been good now. All of a sudden there's like all these Predator fans coming out of the woodwork. I'm like, what? I didn't know you're a Predator fan. Like, oh dude, I've loved it. I'm like, yeah, sure, bro. But like it has been incredible. And I feel like Dan Trachtenberg is like the James Gunn of like Predator now. Like he like understands the character, he understands the world, he knows the lore, he knows how to make those characters interesting. Like, oh man, you're right. I think it's gonna be good. I don't want to oversell it because I always think, it's probably gonna suck this time. But then it's good. I would bet that at least for me, it's gonna get like an 8 out of 10 or like a 4 out of 5, you know?
Yeah, and it's funny because like again, we talk about this a lot, but like there's always a level of people who complain about the movies and everything. And it's like, they're seeing this trailer and people are really complaining about like, oh yeah, no, it's he doesn't have a mask on, or he's getting beat up by other predators and stuff. And it's like, well, that's the whole point. The whole
Right.
point is he's a juvenile. He hasn't earned his mask. He hasn't earned all the weapons and everything like that. And the whole point is he's surviving so that he can move to the next level. Like, we've never seen this level of their culture.
Yeah.
And the fact that we see it in the trailer, it's not very often we see them talk, right? And it's like seeing them talk in their own language, and the fact that they took the time to create linguistics for them, right?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just, oh, we're gonna have them randomly say words. Like, they created a Klingon level language for them, for the Yokai, and it's like, I'm all for this, because that just adds to the immersion into this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't it the guy that created the Valerian language in Game of Thrones? Was it the
Yes.
same guy that did that?
Same
Yeah.
guy who created.
He
Wow.
is
Good
so
pull.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Good pull. That's a great fact. I did not know that. That was a good fun fact.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I think
do
we just
stuff
reported
like
on this like a
that.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I also claim to be immortal because I pull random stuff right out of my butt. I mean, right
It's
out.
amazing. Infinite wisdom out of the tuchus. I like it.
That's where it goes. That's why it's so big.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Yep. The rest of the movies too, I think, are going to be fun as well. Like, I really want to watch Welcome to Derry. I've liked the new iterations, and they've been great. What was the other one that you said?
Project
Toxic Avenger.
Hail Mary. Oh, Toxic Avenger.
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. That was a while ago. That was way back up there. Forget
I
about
got
that.
super late. I tried to get into that one. I couldn't do it, but I am super on board with that. It looks like, I mean, is Ryan Gosling, does he have an Oscar? I know he did La La Land. I don't know if he got an Oscar.
I think he got one for La La Land.
Did he? Okay.
He didn't. No, he doesn't have an Oscar. Emma Stone got an Oscar.
She got an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets an Oscar for an alien movie, but it'd be super cool. He looks like he's going for it. Like, he looks like this is his Castaway. Oof. Almost didn't get that one out.
There's a couple of movies that he should have gotten an Oscar for. Like, I mean, he definitely should have got what is it?
Behind the Pines.
Behind the Pines he should have got for. He should have got it for like, he should have got it for The Notebook a long time ago. He should have got one for Best Supporting for Barbie.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Canuck. He's Canuck, people.
He's Canuck. He should have gotten genre movies usually don't get anything, but I mean, he should have got it for what was the stunt movie, Jen?
Drive? Or for Stuntman?
Stuntman.
Yeah. It was
good. That was fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of places. He's kind of like
little guy. The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy, Stuntman.
He should have. He's like DiCaprio in that like, there's so many movies that he should have gotten awards for that he has not gotten awards for, and he's gonna get an award eventually for something stupid.
Yeah, they're just gonna give him one.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the closest he'll get. Just give him one.
It's like De Niro getting it for but was it De Niro or Pacino that got it for Son of a Woman? That was Pacino, right?
I think it was
Pacino was in Son of a Woman. De Niro was not in that movie.
Okay, so it's like Pacino, one of Hollywood's greatest actors, because you look at all the movies he's been in, and the award he gets it for is Son of a Woman.
Right.
But that happens all the time now.
Yeah.
And I feel like, if a genre movie was going to give someone an Oscar, I think it would be something like Andy Weir related. There's a lot of hate from him, but the movies are great. Like The Martian, I loved that movie. And I know I'm going to love Project Hail Mary just from the trailer. I think that, or what if the Zach Levy Star Wars movie with him in it just blows everybody out of the water, and it's the first Star Wars Oscar for an acting category, because I mean, come on guys, dialogue's not been that great lately, or well, kind of ever, but that's what I just think it would be great. Ryan Gosling, he's been tiptoeing around it. putting his little knuff shoes in there. So
Mm-hmm.
he will get there.
Yep.
Right.
The horses
Or
almost
he'll
got him
Tom
something.
Cruise it. Well, he'll Tom Cruise it and he won't care about it and then he won't do so. And he'll just make lots of money because that's what
Yeah.
Tom Cruise did. So
Just like Samuel L. Jackson, he's like, I don't care about the awards. Just give me all the money. I want the popcorn movies, and I'm
yeah,
thankful for it. Yep.
Right.
he's like, I just want to make the money. I don't want to dress to the nines.
And I don't
I'll
want to
stay
run.
home. Yeah, I'll stay home and eat chicken and watch y'all on TV. Like that's
Man. Well, let's wrap this up because from Gosling gravity suits to citrus scented DCU teases, SDCC 2025 brought the weird, the wonderful, and the wildly merchable. Speaking of, if your closet's crying out for fandom flair, we've got merch, people.
but it's too soon.
It's still too soon. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we got Geek End update, and then
That's right. That's right. It's not. Well, before we
Yeah, that's epic.
before we move into the last segment here, Thomas, I want to thank you for coming on and covering SDCC with us, man, and having all the fun that you did. Before we let you go, man, please give us all of your pluggables, everything you want to plug, every show you're doing, everything on there. Where can everybody find you if they want to follow you or all the shows, everything on Geek Freaks, man?
Yeah. Okay. First off, thank you so much for having me on today. Longtime fan. It's great to like be connected with all of you now and to have like faces with the names and whatnot. So that's amazing. But yes, it was an incredible Comic-Con. Go to any convention if you can. Listen to the Geek Freaks episode. We kind of go into demeanor when you go to these conventions and just take a chance. You know, like if there's somebody you really love their stuff, go talk to them. Just be respectful. Tell them you like their work. There's no better place to do it, and go find your people, man. It's a really great time to be a fan, to be a nerd, and to do whatever you love. So yeah, if you want to follow me more, I'm on all the socials at Thomas Craig, VIII, Thomas Craig 8. Or you can follow Challenge Accepted, also here on the Geek Freak Podcast Network. I do it with Frank, who runs Geek Freaks, and we challenge each other to a new movie or show, or immediately review new movies or shows. We just did Fantastic Four, so if you want to listen to that review, we got that out for you now. And then on the side, my main thing is a podcast called Sick Burn Podcast, where I talk to other people who've survived traumatic incidences or have overcome life's hardest challenges and what they've learned from it, the lessons and the positivity that they use to excel and create a better lives for themselves. But also, like, we like to have fun and joke around as well. So it's not all doom and gloom, but if you're looking for some hope and inspiration and, you know, a little bit of a good time, check out Sick Burn Podcast or Sick Burn Pod and all the socials.
Absolutely, man. We gotta add you guys to our game night group chat. Because
yeah,
me and Jen were just talking about how, because we play a game. Well, we have a show on Fridays called The Buzzer.
Okay.
And we do Jep Nerdy. So like do like a nerdy Jeopardy. We do
count me in.
Yeah, so we got to add you to that just so that like if there's ever a night where you're free to play on a Friday night. I think this Friday we're actually going to play Jep Nerdy. So
Oh, dang.
are we this? Yeah, we are.
we
I
are.
thought we were gonna do Well Really first, but I think that
No.
we moved that back because of
It's
the con
Graveyard's
last
birthday on
weekend.
Friday, so we are
I know.
playing for his birthday.
Dang.
But yes, man, if you're free on Friday, you are more than welcome to play Jep Nerdy with us.
That sounds amazing. All right. Well, I'm gonna check the schedule, but I will say I'll probably be sweating more for that than I did for Comic-Con because I think
Oh,
I'm gonna be
look,
pretty nervous. Yeah.
I hold the record of the most negative score that we've had so far.
Yeah,
on the
at this point,
Okay.
we it's more about having fun and seeing if anybody can get the answers right. And when we play Well Really, the whole point of the game is just to piss off the host. So
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god, amazing.
It's really just to torture Shadu because none of us know what the we might know what's wrong with it, but we never know what the thing is that goes in there. And
Right.
it's just it's glorious. And I say that as his mother. I am his mother, so I fully approve of torturing my child. for a
All
YouTube
right.
channel.
It's okay. He's 22. It's allowed.
Yeah, he's 22. He's his own person. Still
Yeah.
won't drive a car, but he's his own person.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see him sweat and hopefully cry.
Absolutely. Well, Thomas, thank you for coming on, man. We will see you soon. And yeah, man, we appreciate you.
All right. I
It
appreciate
was
it.
nice to put a name to a face or a face to a name. Is that right? Face to a name? Yes,
I think
face
that's
to
right.
a name. Because yeah,
I
and I
don't
can't
know.
wait. We'll collab. Let's collab.
Let's collab. Let's do it. All right. The fever visions are coming in. I was like, I don't even know what you said. All right. Oh, thanks so
Get
much.
some rest, man.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Brother. Oh man, that was fun.
That was fun.
But now we gotta move in here because we've got more cons to cover, guys. SDCC happened over the weekend, but we also have a Geek End update. So let's get into that. It's time for the Geek End update.